Hey everyone, it's Callie Barker here, my first ever full-length makeup video. If you're new here, hit the subscribe and turn those post notifications on. Let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and start by putting my foundation primer on. It's the Mary Kay 15 Broad Spectrum Primer. I'm just blotting it all over my face with my finger. Don't worry guys, my fingers were clean. After I apply that all over my face, I'm going to follow up with the Tarte Amazonian Clay. This one is a pretty high coverage for all over your face. If you have some discoloration or anything that you're worried about and you want to cover up, or maybe you're just going for a full glam night and you don't want anything to show through, I would highly recommend the Amazonian Clay. I have oily combination skin, so this is very good for my T-zone, which tends to get really oily. And as you can see on my forehead, I'm a little bit of a picker, so I'm constantly picking at my face. After I apply the concealer all over my face, I move on to Boo Boo Cover Up. It's a concealer I got in my Ipsy bag, and I just apply that over the things that I've picked at, and also any other like red places that I get around my nose. I like to use a little bit different concealers also, so this one is the Decay Cosmetics by Under Eye. It's a full coverage waterproof concealer that I like the best for my under eyes. For my eyebrows, Kat Von D 24 Hours Super Brow in medium brown. Sorry about the camera, it doesn't really want to focus too terribly much when my hand keeps getting in the way. The brush I'm using is actually from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's the number 12 double tipped eyebrow brush.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it away.
With the Tartiest Pro Glow by Tarte, I'm using the strobe and stunner right above my brow. Mostly I just mix the strobe with just a little bit of stunner to go under there, just to keep it a little bit more bronze, not as pink. And then I follow with the stunner just right on the tops of my cheekbones. The brush I'm using is the Luxe 660 brush. It's actually a precision foundation brush, followed by my setting powder. I'm just going to pat underneath my eyes because I do have some wrinkles and I don't want them to cake under there. But I'm using the Maybelline Master Fix setting powder. I like to set my jawbone just a little bit more and underneath my mouth because my T-zone does get pretty oily. On my T-zone. I use the Maybelline Mineral Powder in the color Creamy Natural, just a little bit for my bronzing because I don't want it too much and I don't want it sparkly or anything. I like more of a natural bronze. And I use the same brush just to dust off the rest of the excess powder that's on there. I like to pat it down into my nose, against my nose, since it does get oily. I find that the patting helps a little bit more than brushing it all off my nose. And then I just go through and I brush off all of the excess setting powder before it sets too much longer and it starts to make me look a little bit cakier. Now time's with the NYX Butt Naked palette that I actually got for Christmas. It's very well loved. I love it so much. I'm using the darkest brown color that doesn't have a shimmer just on my crease. With my Aisling, I think that's how you pronounce it, Organics brush in a 389. It's a double tip brush, great for blending out those colors and patting it down and priming, or just patting it down onto your eyes. Got to be careful when you do place that first set of color onto your eyes. You don't want to put it right in the middle of your eye or in the inside corner because that's where the most pigment is going to be. So you want to set that pigment on the outer corner of your eye where you do want the darkest. I use a lot of back and forth brushing movements, but it does work a little bit better if you can swirl the brush just a little bit to get that color to move around. Now I'm applying one of the lighter shades as a transition color up to my brow just to blend out that darkest color just a little bit. Then I'm using the lightest highlighter color on the same brush, just on the sharper smudger end. I flipped it over so I could get the light color, since I did use the smudger end for the darkest color. And I'm applying it to the inner corners of my eyes and to my eyelid. Since I didn't want too dramatic of a crease line, I'm just letting my natural crease. I like to do a natural crease a little bit more than I like to actually cut my crease. I'm going back and I'm applying that darkest color off of the NYX Butt Naked palette to my lower lash line just a little bit, not all the way across, but just to the middle of my eye. The darker you bring in those colors towards the center of your eye, the closer together your eyes might start to look. So I don't want to make it look like my eyes are too close together. Just trying to make that corner just a little bit darker. I'm going to begin with my eyeliner with Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide-On Eye Pencil. Black. I really like this eye pencil because it glides on so smoothly and it doesn't really clump or anything.
Mustang 65 got that V8 engine with a fuel injection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor. Turn that kitty pot into a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen. I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's go to town, break the speed of sound tonight.
Next is one of my favorite eyeliners. It's by Eyeko and it's called I Do Liquid Liner. I got it also in my Ipsy bag and I find it's perfect for making that sharp of a point if you want it. And I feel like I've had it forever and it still hasn't dried out. Finally, eyelashes. I'm not very good at them, but I've been practicing. These are the Ardell, I forget how you use them, Ardell Wispy, and the Arbonne It Speaks Volumes mascara, which I'm going to apply first and just let that dry before I put on the lashes. So the first ones, I kind of bent the inside trying to take it off of the box. So it didn't really want to sit too well for me, but I got it to work at least. The inside still looks a little funky, but I was not about to waste a pair of lashes.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take.
Finally, move on to the lips. I'm using the Balm lip liner in the color Finapple to just line around my lips. I really like this color because it's a lot like my skin color, but just slightly more, a little bit more pink.
Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder.
I moisturized my lips beforehand, but I definitely should have put a cream or some sort of balm on before I did this because my lips were pretty dry, which isn't the best if you're going to be using a matte lipstick for all day. I'm using the Meet Matte Hughs, also by the Balm, in the color Sincere. This is my favorite color by the Balm. I feel like it looks just perfect with my skin tone. It's a nice mauve color, which isn't too pink for me since I'm not too much of a fan of super pink lipsticks. Matte by far lipsticks are my favorite. Anything that's matte and will dry matte is my favorite.
Join the army of the shadows, shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder. We are more than numbers, standing in their shade. Going louder. We are all one color, standing in their way.
There you go. Thank you guys for watching my first full makeup tutorial. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I loved and had a lot of fun making this for you guys. If you guys want to see any other looks, making sure to follow my Instagram and me on Twitter. My Instagram is Brush Off the Shade.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping.